Hey guys, this is Spartacus here, and welcome to another video where I haven't uploaded in a couple days again. Well, just to be completely honest with you guys, like I said before, my life's been super busy, and I'm getting burned out, and it's really hard for me to make videos when I'm burned out, and also, I just recently got sick today, which really sucks, so hopefully I don't get any worse later on, because I really want to start making more videos. But also, today we got a live stream from one of the Sledgehammer Games developers. He was answering some questions on some Facebook live stream. If you guys want to check it out, I will have a link in the description below from that recorded live stream. And yeah, they didn't really answer too many big questions in that live stream, but they did answer a few of them. So if you guys want to go check it out, go press on the link in the description below if you haven't already. But in this video, I'm not actually going to be talking about what they said in the live stream. I'm just going to be talking about why Call of Duty is not going to die. I mean, the only way for Call of Duty, its entire franchise, right? The only way for Call of Duty's entire franchise to actually die is if they probably do something to their games that just makes the gameplay absolutely horrible or something. I don't know. That's the only way I can really see how something happens. Like, just they just add something to the game that just makes it terrible. And it could be supply drops, maybe they're going to do something different with supply drops in the future, and it just makes the game totally unplayable because a lot of people don't like how they add weapons into supply drops, and the only way to earn those weapons is through the supply drops themselves, which is of course a terrible system. But who knows? We don't know if Call of Duty is ever going to die, but I'm just saying if it does, that's what's going to happen. But I really don't think Call of Duty is going to die, you guys. I mean, holy crap, ever since Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty games have been the best-selling game every year. Literally, there's no other game that has outsold Call of Duty, ever since Call of Duty 4. Ever since Call of Duty 4 came out, people totally freaked out. They're like, holy crap, this game is absolutely amazing, of course, at the time. And now we've got into more futuristic Call of Duty games with more content in it, and it's still a top-selling Call of Duty game, even though you hear so many people complain about, the movement system we have now, how it takes place in the future and space and stuff like that. But the game's still the top seller, right? Now, you could argue that Call of Duty Ghosts was not the top seller its year, and as a matter of fact, it wasn't. The top seller, I believe, for that year when Call of Duty Ghosts came out was Grand Theft Auto 5, which of course is a super popular game, but that's really the only other year where Call of Duty was not the top selling. As a matter of fact, Call of Duty Ghosts was still number 2 on the list though. So, but I mean, you could also argue that just because it's the top selling game doesn't mean the game isn't dead, or that that means a lot of people play it. I mean, honestly, think about it. Think about how many people buy copies. Over 1 million copies are sold, and of course these are split between PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and of course PC. So there's 3 different platforms people play these games on. And another reason why Call of Duty isn't dead isn't necessarily because of the number of sales it gets every year, but also people go back and play the older Call of Duty games. A great example would be Black Ops 2, because recently Black Ops 2, actually it's been kind of like this for a while, Black Ops 2 is now backwards compatible on the Xbox One. So for us Xbox users, that's a really good advantage of having that game on our new console. It's still the exact same game we see on Xbox 360. The only difference is that we put the game disc in our Xbox One, and you're using an Xbox One controller. That's really the only difference. But yeah, there's people went back and played Black Ops 2, and actually I believe this month that the top selling games, I think this might have been number 10 on the list or something, but Black Ops 2 was number 10 most sold game for this month, which is insane. Black Ops 2 came out in 2012, I do believe, and so holy smokes, this game is just, it's a few years old. It's I can't even do the math in my head right now because I can't even concentrate. It's 5 years old. Black Ops 2, it's crazy to think that Black Ops 2 is 5 years old, and yet it's one of the most top-selling games for this month. It's not the top-selling game for this month, but it just is. And just because it went backwards compatible, a lot of people who have never played Black Ops 2 before would want to just go ahead and buy it for their Xbox One, which is insane. So that kind of shows that Call of Duty is not dead. The franchise is not over, you guys. There's so many people who are playing older Call of Duty games out there. Just because someone might not like the newer Call of Duty game doesn't mean they're going back and playing the old ones, right? It doesn't mean they're going to be one of those people who just switch to Battlefield, Another thing I want to mention is that I was on Facebook the other night, and I read this article about 16 reasons why you should skip the next Call of Duty game, which is, of course, Call of Duty World War II. But the thing about that article is they were totally bashing on Call of Duty, right? They were, it was a terrible article. I mean, really, their reasonings weren't that good. One of the reasons, I'm not going to say all the reasonings in this video to why they say you should skip the next Call of Duty game, but one of them was actually because of Sledgehammer Games themselves. They were saying how like Sledgehammer Games has never developed a Call of Duty game or just a video game in general that took place in World War II. So how do we know how historically accurate their game is, how well it's going to play? And honestly, that's a dumb question. Holy freaking crap. That is a absolutely horrible question because, I mean, not a question, just statement, I should say. Because just because they've never made a World War II game before doesn't mean this game isn't going to be good, right? I mean, heck, no one's even played the game yet, so no one knows what the game's going to be like just yet, and we haven't even seen multiplayer gameplay yet, which, as a matter of fact, in a couple of weeks, we will see some multiplayer gameplay because it's going to be presented at E3, which I wish I could go to, even though I'm going to be in California at the time, but I won't be in Los Angeles, which really sucks, but yeah, they're just totally bashing on Sledgehammer Games, like saying like, how do we know it's going to be good if they never made a World War II game before? Well, look at Treyarch, for example. Treyarch has actually made a futuristic Call of Duty game before, and as a matter of fact, Treyarch is the very first Call of Duty developer to actually make the very first futuristic Call of Duty game, which, by the way, was Black Ops 2. And so they made Black Ops 3, of course, right? And in Black Ops 3, they implemented a new movement system. They implemented all these, like, features into Black Ops 3. There's so much content in Black Ops 3. It's absolutely insane. And Black Ops 3 turned out just fine. You know, that was Treyarch's first time ever implementing a really gritty, futuristic Call of Duty game that implemented this new movement system we've never seen before. And it made the game really good, including wall running. Like, they were the first people to implement wall running into a Call of Duty game. And the Black Ops 3 turned out just fine. I mean, a lot of people didn't like it because, of course, supply drops and there's weapons in it. And also there's the argument of Gobblegum being in zombies. But, like, there's very little about Black Ops 3 that people just don't like. And so, honestly, you know, Black Ops 3 turned out perfectly fine. That was Treyarch's very first time ever making a Call of Duty game like that, and it turned out just fine. So why can't Sledgehammer Games make a World War II game, and it will just turn out just fine? And not to mention, Sledgehammer Games has been studying their asses off for this game. Like, they are historically looking at historical facts of World War II and trying to implement it into their campaign and I guess multiplayer too. They even visited actual sites where there were battles happening in that area during the time of World War II. Like, these guys have done lots of research for World War II so they can make this game historically accurate as possible. And one problem with that is that since the Nazis, of course, their like logo, you can say, is the swastika, right? And in recent like video games, we don't actually see swastikas anymore. They were centered out with a German cross, right? Which is like the replacement of the Nazi logo. A very good example is for Zombie Chronicles and Black Ops 3. If you play Kino der Toten on that map, that original map actually had Nazi swastikas, like flags on that map. But if you play Zombie Chronicles with the remade version of Kino der Toten, you don't actually have swastikas. They're German crosses. So I'm pretty sure in this next World War II game, or the next Call of Duty game that's called World War II, is not going to have the swastikas. It's going to have German crosses, which is a little bit disappointing, but I'm not really sure why, because I think they're trying to be more politically correct, which shouldn't be the case because nobody was really politically correct back in World War II, so I don't know, you can make that argument, but seriously though, my point is that Call of Duty's not going to die, you guys. I mean, we'll have to see how World War II goes out because a lot of people are hyped up with the idea that this next Call of Duty game is taking place in World War II and it's actually going to have historical facts of World War II itself, where if you look at the last Call of Duty game that took place in World War II was the game made by Treyarch, and it was called World at War, and that game did not really have like any historical facts of World War II. I mean, yeah, it had like some certain forces that you played as, maybe, and like, but none of the campaign missions, like, I don't think took place in real life, you know? Like, none of the campaign missions in World at War actually took place in real life, where in this game, they actually are, which I think is pretty unique, in my opinion. So, yeah, Call of Duty's not going to die, you guys. It's always going to be the top-selling game. It's just the way it's going to be, and, you know, why is it the top-selling game? Because it's fun. A lot of people love Call of Duty. There's a lot of people out there who buy Call of Duty, but don't, like, grind it out like maybe I do, and, like, some other people, you know? Like, people don't, like, try to reach Master Prestige in the game. Not everybody who buys the game tries to reach Master Prestige. Some people just buy it, play it for a little bit, and then they get off, and then maybe a month later they'll play it again or something like that. You know, there's just some gamers out there who are just like that. So, yeah, Call of Duty, it's a very popular franchise, and it's probably going to be the most popular game unless they actually screw up somehow and it doesn't. I don't know. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it and comment down below if you guys think Call of Duty is going to die. And if you guys actually think Call of Duty is going to die, please leave a very good reasoning down below why you actually think it's going to die. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Call of Duty videos later in the future. And I shall catch you guys later.